You've no doubt heard this term used plenty of times before, and it's probably left you wanting to pull your hair out. But what is SEO? Let's get started. So to put it simply, SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization. And like it says in the name, it's about optimizing the search engine. Let's say, for example, you've started a website. The branding's great, the visuals are great, everything's great, but it's brand new. You're coming to a website for the first time, you don't know what it is, you need a bit of context. So does the algorithm. So does the internet essentially need to know as much information as you can give it about why people should see it, who should see it, and where should that rank. We now understand a little bit more about what it is, but how does it work? How do you optimize it? And another thing, why does it cost money? To help simplify SEO, I'll break it down into two separate sides. You've got your links and you've got your content. The content is anything you're creating that's going onto the website or even onto your social media. That's the videos, the photography, and especially the blogs. It's important to point out that blogs play a big role in the organic traffic of a website. Within that blog, you've got words that relate to the different things you might be doing, the different things about the website, the target audience. It's why we're creating blogs. It's to stay up to date with our audience. It's to show that the business is active. And these words within that blog, that text, play a big factor into how you're then starting to increase your SEO. So it's something that over a period of time, you could do yourself, where you're just creating more content, making sure that it's got the relevant links in it, making sure that it's got relevant tag words to where you're trying to go with your website, and then that will start to organically build traffic. Of course, there's a lot more to it than that to really see significant growth, but we'll get into that next. What do I mean by using the right terms or the right words? They're what's known as keywords, and these different keywords have different rankings based on the amount of traffic that that particular thing has. So let's say, for example, a tutorial. You might be looking at how to. That phrase, how to, has a high traffic to it because people are searching for different things related to that. Different things related to that are going to have different amounts of traffic to it, and that is what creates the ranking. You've got to remember that you're in a race, you're in a competition with everyone else that's trying to do the same thing you are. So that's where the ranking plays a big factor, because you're trying to outcompete the different people who are also ranking for those particular words. And that's where it starts to cost money. That's why it starts to take time, because this is something that will increase over time as well as decrease over time. Staying active is about staying up to date with the search engine and the keywords and making sure that you keep ranking higher and higher so that you're more likely to have your website seen by the relevant people. This now leads us on to one of the biggest factors about SEO, links or backlinking. To summarize what that is, it's all of the different places that you can leave content about your website in different places in the internet. Think of how many different places you can go in the internet, all the different social medias, all the other different websites trying to do what you're doing, all relevant to what you're doing, YouTube, LinkedIn, etc., etc. What linking does is placing your website, your content, who you are, in different relevant places to help the internet to understand where you should be ranking, who should be seeing you. And this takes time. It takes time to organically grow. It takes time to compete with your competition and other people trying to do these things. And it's a process where the internet is trying to make sure it's making the right decision about where it should be putting you. But if you consistently do it over a longer period of time, that's when you start to see a growth. That's when you start to see more organic traffic coming to your website, because the internet has started to understand where it should place you. So if you imagine when people are trying to research something or trying to find something out on the internet, they'll type in certain words or phrases related to what they want to know. So with these separate keywords, you're then telling the internet that you're relevant to this, you're relevant to that location, you're relevant to this search topic. So as you're doing this over time organically, you then start to rank higher and higher. One of the most common things I've found that people don't understand about SEO is how long should it take? And how much is that going to cost? If you're paying for this as a service, it's going to cost a bit of money. You're paying one person or even a team of people to be doing all of this work, the content, the backlinking, etc. All of the different things that go into that particular service. This is why and how it can cost money. And this is something that, honestly, within 3 to 6 months, you should start to see some sort of organic traffic grow. But it's an ongoing process that you should honestly expect to be investing into throughout the length of the business. If you're not, at the very least, putting out fresh content regularly, that algorithm will start to forget about you. You'll start to go lower on the search engine, on the ranking. But you've got to think that if you're doing this, then all of your competitors are doing it as well. So staying up to date and competing with the rest of the internet is really important. So now you understand a little bit more about SEO and some of the key things that you should remember when approaching this as a service. Stay tuned for more content like this, where we try to provide useful insight and tips to help you on your journey towards success. If you've got any thoughts, questions, or queries, leave a comment below.